4,200 years ago, something wiped out civilizations from Egypt to Mesopotamia to the Indus Valley. Rivers dried, cities fell, empires just vanished. And unlike Atlantis or ancient nukes, this collapse actually happened. Historians call it the 4.2 Kiloyear Event. But here's the twist. Just when the world seemed beyond saving, civilization returned. Not rebuilt, not reborn. Returned. As if someone hit reset. It began with whispers from the earth. Not thunder, not fire, just stillness. The Nile, once the heartbeat of Egypt, began to stall. The Euphrates cracked under a pitiless sun. The Indus River, lifeblood of a civilization no one would remember by name, receded like a dying breath. No one knew it yet, but something ancient was unraveling. In the north of Mesopotamia, clay tablets began recording strange portents, omens of a world out of balance. Crops rotted in the fields. Fathers sold sons for barley. Jackals roamed abandoned temples. In Egypt, priests climbed to the tops of stone ziggurats to ask the gods why the floods no longer came. The answers were met with silence. The Akkadians, history's first empire builders, watched helplessly as their farmlands turned to salt and sand. Sargon's descendants lost control, and the empire collapsed like a cracked statue. To the east, in the Indus Valley, cities that had once been marvels of order, gridded streets, public baths, fell into stillness. Not war, not plague, just abandonment. Across continents, chaos bloomed. But here's the thing no one can explain. These civilizations had no shared language, no trade routes, no common enemy. Yet they fell together, as if choreographed by something beyond human comprehension. In the temple of Ninhursag, deep in the Sumerian plains, a trembling priest carved his final warning into clay. The sky has swallowed its blood. The river mother has turned her face. The wind speaks in tongues not heard by men, and the gods have left their posts. The last word, etched with dying hands, was return. In Egypt, the Book of Coming Forth by Day whispers of an age when Ra wept, and each tear became a serpent to devour the crops. One forgotten scroll speaks of a false dawn where the sun rose red 3 mornings in a row, then did not rise at all. The priests of Karnak begged Osiris for mercy, but the Nile refused to rise, as if mourning something only the dead could see. In the Indus Valley, shards of pottery depict a horned figure known as Pashupati standing over wilting grain, holding a sickle and a moon torn in half. Some say these were metaphors. Others call them warnings, left like breadcrumbs across continents. We call it the 4.2 Kiloyear Event. But back then, it was the moment the gods stopped answering. They watched us build. They watched us burn. And when we fell into silence, they did not mourn. They waited, not for us to return, but for the right moment to begin again. Not all endings are endings. Some are recalibrations. The empires had fallen, the gods had vanished, and then nothing. No new kings, no great battles, just absence. For nearly 300 years, the earth grew quiet. In Mesopotamia, the cities of Akkad and Ur were swallowed by dust. In Egypt, the time became known as the First Intermediate Period. chaos behind polite language. In the Indus Valley, cities were left half-finished, streets crumbled, wells went dry. Then, something returned. The rains. Hesitant, sporadic, but enough. In Egypt, a local ruler named Mentuhotep rose to power. The Middle Kingdom was born. In Mesopotamia, new city-states stirred, smaller, sharper, more cautious. And in the Indus, unfamiliar languages emerged from the bones of old cities. Civilization returned, but not the same. Different gods, different maps, as if something had edited the human story. But scattered across the ruins were signs. In Mesopotamia, priests recorded star charts with sudden irregularities. They called it the gaze of the Sky Father. In Egypt, a fragment at Karnak spoke of Thoth emerging from the crack between worlds. In Lothal, a magnetic stone disk was uncovered. Spiral etchings, orbital paths not of Earth. 3 words carved beneath it. They will return. Civilizations that should have stayed buried rose in the same order they fell, as if someone had rewound the tape, just far enough to restart, but not enough to repeat. Was this nature's correction? Or someone's plan? They watched us build. They watched us burn. And when we fell into silence, they did not mourn. They waited. Civilizations are not supposed to fall in sync, nor are they meant to rise again in sequence. Yet the Akkadians fell, then the Egyptians, then the Indus, and centuries later they rose, again in sequence. Coincidence or choreography? Historians blame climate, migration, the usual suspects, but the numbers don't lie. The 4.2 Kiloyear Event didn't just collapse cities, it interrupted timelines. A pottery design appears in post-collapse Mesopotamia, and again in early China. No known connection, but the same circle. 7 dots, the same etched on Lothal's magnetic disk, the same carved into a Middle Kingdom obsidian mirror. Always hidden, always after collapse. What if collapse was a trigger? Not an end, but an activation. Something watching, something correcting, something resetting. And then, there's the newest anomaly. In 2022, a satellite scan over the Arabian desert picked up a strange signal. Harmonic, not electromagnetic. Beneath layers of stone, a geometric chamber. Octagonal, perfect. Inside, 7 carvings, a black mirrored stone. 1 inscription, fused from 3 ancient scripts. Recalibrating. We thought we were building civilizations, but maybe we were just the scaffolding. And the real architects? They haven't left. They've just been waiting for the next reset. The 4.2 Kiloyear Event isn't just a story of what was lost. It's a warning embedded in the bones of our history. Civilization returned, but not the same. Maybe we're not the first version. Maybe we're not the last. And if the pattern holds, will we bear witness to the next collapse? Is it already overdue?